Welcome back to the Kenosha YMCA's virtual Safety Around Water video series. If you haven't watched our intro video yet, please go to our YouTube page to find it. Lesson 1 for our series is going to concentrate on submersion of the face and body. Our first skill, submersion, is important for the student to become comfortable swimming with their face and ears in the water. This skill must be mastered before progressing to further lessons. We can start mastering this skill at stage 1, otherwise known as beginner. Students should be able to blow bubbles with their nose and mouth. Start by blowing bubbles at the surface and build to submerging mouth and nose by exhaling. A good tip is to try humming. At stage 1, students should be able to get their head and face wet either by submerging their face or instructor pouring water over their head. Next, in stage 1, comes submerging entire head underneath the water. Lastly, for stage 1, we want to see that the student can bob independently by holding onto the wall, submerging, and exhaling underwater before returning to the surface. If the student needs more time at stage 1, they should continue to practice before moving to stage 2, otherwise known as intermediate. In starting stage 2, otherwise known as intermediate, we want to start by reassessing the end of stage 1, bobbing independently. The student should be able to hold on to the wall, submerge themselves, and exhale underwater before returning to the surface. Next, we want to work on staying comfortable while submerged for a short length of time. Students should work on submerging, staying submerged for 3 seconds, exhaling, and then returning to the surface. Lastly, in stage 2, we want students to work on submerging, exhaling underwater, opening their eyes, and looking at an object on the bottom of the pool before resurfacing. Again, if the student needs more time on stage 2, they should continue practicing before moving on to stage 3, otherwise known as advanced. Just as we did before, we want to reassess the end of stage 2, or intermediate, as the start to stage 3, otherwise known as advanced, by having the student submerge and look at an object on the bottom of the pool. The last step in mastering the skill of submersion with comfort is having the student submerge and retrieve object in chest-deep water. The object should be held right beneath the surface of the water. Of course, the key to true mastery of this skill is to use it. Listed here are a few games with age group designations. Our favorite game is Treasure Dive. Throw rings or other objects to the bottom of the pool or hold them directly under the surface and tell the student to retrieve the treasure. Next week, we will work on becoming comfortable swimming on our front and back. As always, these skills should only be practiced under adult supervision, free from distraction. Thank you for attending this week's Safety Around Water virtual lesson. We look forward to seeing you next week.